Alright, so I'm gonna make this video very short. Just want to show you, I mean, I've already harvested about 9 watermelons. I just want to make this video on when to harvest watermelons. And you know, there's moments where you may get that black rot on watermelons, and that has a lot to do with bad watering practices. But you know, a little bit of mulch right where the vine is at goes a long way. But let me just show you how to determine when a watermelon is ready to pick. So for now, I first want to show you guys, these are the vines. I mean, like I said, I've already picked out about 9 watermelons, but these are like still babies, so of course this is definitely not ready to go. But once again, over here, these right here, you start to see how the baby ones there, they have a little bit of a shinier color. These have a little bit more of a flat color. However, the size doesn't determine if the watermelon is ready. Some watermelons actually are ready, being a little bit smaller. When they're bigger, it doesn't mean they're ready to be picked. Normally, some people thump on them, and there's a particular sound that it makes, kind of like a hollow sound, and that's how you'll know when it's ready. For example, you see this tendril over here. If you're just panning over here, every watermelon, all right, is going to be attached, and at the end, there's always a little tendril from the point of where it attached. You see how green this is? This means that the watermelon is not ready. So let's say you're not very experienced and you don't know by the knocking sound when it's actually ready. You can always tell by this. You can also tell by the it gets like a little bit, like the shiny part of the skin goes away and it starts to turn a little flat. This one's looking a little flatter, but if you don't, it doesn't mean it's ready, but it means it's ripening up. But knocking on it is the other way. But the best indicator, in my opinion, is basically looking at this tendril. It looks like a dynamite stick that once it, see, some of them will actually be brown halfway, and then that's when you know it's not ready. But when the tendril turns brown all the way down to the bottom, that's when you know the watermelon is ready. All right, so we've got a few. I've literally counted already. We have about 13 watermelons that we're waiting on. However, I know that one is ready, so I'm going to show you how you could tell it's actually ready. If you walk around this way, so this is another, I mean, I've got a couple of sections where I got melons growing, because I've got cantaloupe, honeydew, and watermelon growing. So however, this is another section where I have the watermelons growing. So if you can come in over here, and I'll show you, let me try to move this out of the way a little bit. You can see that this big watermelon over here is attached, and then right where the attachment point is, this is where the tendril is at. Can you see that? So you see how this one is brown all the way to the bottom? Like I said, sometimes they may be halfway or not. This one looks like the dynamite stick went all the way down. Boom, this is ready to go. That's how I look at it. Boom, it just exploded. We got a new healthy watermelon. Another indicator that's very important that you can tell, look at these little roly-polies. These are actually very beneficial in your yard, by the way. The bottom of the skin turns this yellowish color. Okay, can you see that good from there? This is a perfectly picked and ripe watermelon. So you see how this is nice and yellow on the bottom? Look how beautiful that skin looks. All right, like I said, we've already picked out 9 like this, so I figured I'd leave this one so I could put it on camera. Let me see if I have one that's showing where it's like halfway but not quite ready. All right, so this one is still very green. So I've shown you guys a couple of the indicators already. Let me see if I can find one that's more or less like halfway. This one's very green, only because I picked them out. Look at this, we got a baby one for me here, you see that? So add 1 to whatever I just told you I had counted already. This one's very green. I know there was one that I saw that was halfway, but you guys get the message. But look at this, got another little watermelon growing. I'm telling you, man, you guys, if you can see the seeds, we save them, multiply these melons, man. Next year I'm planning to grow even more than I did this year. So this one's still very green. This one's very green, but you'll know, I mean, when you start growing them. But I mean, that's all I have. I mean, I basically showed you guys a few methods to tell, which is basically the skin, thumping them, the yellow on the bottom of the melon, and then the tendril. The tendril has to be brown all the way down to the end, okay? And it's like a ticking time bomb. Once you get it there, fireworks. You got the fireworks. You know what I'm saying? This I consider a big firework. You know what I'm saying? A nice little harvest of watermelons. This is actually, like I said, one of many that I still have waiting, and I've already pulled out like 9 or 10. I don't know. I don't remember how much I pulled out, but we've been enjoying watermelons. And that's all I got for this video. Very simple, very easy. Oh, and by the way, this is what I wanted to actually tie in. If you can just pan in over here real quick. All right, so check this out. You see this? This right here is where the vine starts. But do you see how it's like mulched? I have mulch on top of it. It's so that the vine retains moisture. And what that does is it keeps it balanced in the temperature, but it also keeps it balanced in moisture. Because the thing is that if it starts to fluctuate too much, there's a problem with the utilization of calcium. And you might, I don't have any to show you, but you might experience the watermelon having black rot on it. And that's at the ends of like the end of the watermelon. You'll see that it starts to turn black. All right, so you definitely want to watch out for that. Make sure that wherever your vines are growing from, when they get to a certain length, you want to mulch the start of where the vine goes. But if you see where that starts, watermelon vines branch out. I mean, they make a lot of, you need a good amount of room for them to grow. You know what I'm saying? But they're definitely worth it. Watermelons taste sweet and phenomenal. And that's all I got for this video. We'll talk soon.